तो आप ड्रॉप कर जाइए। आप अगर क्लास ज्वाइन करना है तो यू कैन ज्वाइन फ्रॉम 5 to 7 PM इंडिया टाइम। 7 बजे के बाद में इट इज ओनली फॉर द किड्स हियर इन यूएस। ओके, आपको मैं अभी के लिए कॉल से रिमूव कर रहा हूँ, सो दैट नो,
ओके सर, ओके सर,
है ना।
नो प्रॉब्लम।
चलिए, बाय बाय। ऑल राइट, so what are we going to learn today?
Geometry, I guess.
Geometry, okay, that's one guess.
The power of 10.
Power of 10, okay, that's the second
The
guess.
metric system.
Which system?
The metric system and the customary system.
Metric system and customary system we have already learned in the previous classes, and there are videos for those classes. I would suggest Abhik you go through those videos. I know you were away for a few weeks, so go through those videos and let me know if there's something that is not that you're not able to
Someone joined.
Oh, is it the data thing?
Yes, that's the data thing. I mean, we learned about how to do what are different units for measuring distance, volume, and distance, volume,
Time.
and weight. Not time. Time is common, right? So distance, volume, and weight. We learned that one using metric system, and then we learned the customary system also. And we learned how do you convert from one unit to another, and how does it work.
And
Yeah.
someone joined.
Yeah, that is Rudra, my other student from India. So Rudra, this is a class for the kids here in US. You can drop off. You are late. Your class got over 15 minutes ago. Okay, he got it. So yeah, so coming back to the point, we have learned the measurement and units. I would suggest you guys to go through those videos. If anybody has any doubt, let me know. Okay. So power of 10. Have we learned power of 10 in the previous class?
Yeah.
We did, right? Okay. So then we are not going to cover that again. So what do we pick next? Let me pick up a topic for you guys. Okay.
Are we gonna do like dot plots or something?
I'm sorry?
Are we gonna do dot plots or something?
I could not hear you.
Are we
He's
gonna
saying, are we gonna do bar graph, a dot plot?
Yeah. So that's what we'll try to learn. Okay. So
I learned it.
there's something called line plots. Yeah.
line?
Line plots.
Oh, line.
How do you plot a line? Okay. So let's try playing with that a little bit. Okay. And it's more important to understand how these concepts work, right? I mean, there's nothing very tricky about it, but if you understand the concepts, how it works, it becomes much easier. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me first share my screen.
I guessed it.
What did you guess?
You're gonna share the screen.
Tell me, if I don't share the screen, how will I teach you? Yeah. Okay.
You'll do it later.
So let me know once you're able to see my screen also. Can everybody see my screen?
No, not yet.
How about it now?
No. No.
Not yet. It should come up anytime soon. How about it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Still loading for me.
Okay. So, so Ayush, Ishan, Gitesh, Shalini, and Abhik. Everybody can see my screen now.
Yes.
Can you see the white screen as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to the basics. Okay. When I say basics, if you guys remember what we learned in geometry before, it's called a line segment or line, right? I mean, even for Shivani, Shivani and Abhik, if you have not attended those classes before, in simple terms, this is called a line segment. Why line segment? Because line has no fixed length, but line segment have, meaning they have a starting point and their ending point. This is called line segment, a segment of a line, a part of a line. Wherein if you look at line is something that comes with two arrows at both the ends. And what that means is it can go as far as you can think of. Okay. Yeah. So when you look at something like this, it's called a line segment. It doesn't have an arrow. Okay. It has one point here, one point here. When you join these 2 points, it makes a line segment. I mean, in normal usage, right? We use line segment and line as the same thing, right? We will say, okay, draw a line from here to here. This is not actually a line. This is a line segment, but it's okay from a practical purposes point of view. We say, okay, this draw a line. That's okay. So if you hear line or line segment, but if you don't see an arrow, you can safely assume that it's a line segment. But anyways, that's not the point. If I have to draw a line segment, or in crude terms, a line, what I need is 2 points. I need to know what are those 2 points that I want to join to make a line segment. Correct? If somebody says draw a line segment, your first question would be from where to where? From where to where? Or from where to where?
Somebody join.
Okay. Who is that somebody? So for all the kids back in India, this is a class for the kids here in US. आप लोग लेट से ज्वाइन किए हो, आप लोग का क्लास खत्म हो जाता है by 7 PM इंडिया टाइम. इंडिया के टाइम पे 7 बजे खत्म हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो आप लोग उसके बाद ज्वाइन मत कीजिए. दिस इज अ क्लास गोइंग ऑन फॉर द किड्स हियर in US, है ना. चलिए, what I will do is going forward, I will change the meeting link for you guys so that nobody from India joins. Otherwise, it distracts a bit. Okay. All right. So whenever we talk about drawing a line segment, the first thing that comes to our mind is from where to where, from where to where, from where to where, right? So
Point A to point B.
yeah. So you need 2 points always. Now think about the point. What is the point? Meaning, how do you find that point from where you will start your line segment? How do you locate a point? If you look at this
A
point,
center.
I'm sorry? What happened?
A center.
No. A point is a point. Center is a center. This is a point. This is a point. This is a point. How do you define a center? Center you define for a shape. This is a center. If you're looking at this page as one thing, you will find out a center. But I'm not trying to say that actually. I'm trying to say something different. I'm saying that how do I find a point? What is a point? The point or any position is always relatable. We live in US and our houses are somewhere closer to Dallas, correct? None of us are living in California, true?
I used to live in California.
Now I'm saying right now. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So all of us are living in a place near Dallas. So Dallas is a reference point. We will not say that okay, I live in New Jersey, because New Jersey is probably way too far. I'm looking at a place which is nearby to which I can relate for all of us.
What
Same
about
way,
Fort?
what is that?
Nothing.
That is not the point. Okay, now coming back to the point. The point is any point that we talk about, or any location, any position that we talk about, is always referenced against something. If you look at this point, this is this far from this border, okay? The top border, and this far from this border. Now look at another point here. This is this far from the top border of the page or the screen, and this far from this side of the screen. You can also say this is this far from this side of the screen. Yeah. So any point that you locate or you talk about is always against a fixed edge or a fixed corner or a fixed place. And that is how you relate. So any point and every point that we talk about, that is why people say, what is the point? The point is a place or a position that is related to something which is more firm or fixed. So now let's say your house, my house, everybody's house in this class is in a certain place. Tomorrow, if we decide to move our house to another place, we rent a house in different place, or we buy another house in a different place, our address will change. But what will not change is Dallas. So Dallas remains fixed. So that is why any point and every point that we talk about, we compare that against a fixed place. Okay, how far is from this corner? How far is from this corner? That is how you locate a point. Now think about this page being broken into 4 pieces. Okay, 4 corners. I will call this as x axis. I will call this as a y axis. Okay. So
Oh, this I learned this like 2 months ago.
and that's why I'm just teaching you guys one more time. Yeah.
But I only learned the top right. My teacher said, will you learn the next in 6th grade? And I was like, oh, come on.
Don't worry about that. I'm just teaching you the concept, regardless of the grade. Okay. So far, I did not say 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, right? I'm just saying that any point, any position, any location that you find out, you always relate that with another thing which is fixed. Like I was saying that okay, we live in and around Dallas. So everybody's house. So let's say I will say that my house is 17 miles away from Dallas. Maybe Gitesh will say that my house is 20 miles away from Dallas. Shivani will say I live 13 miles away from Dallas. Ayush might say that okay, I live 22 miles away from Dallas, right? So Dallas becomes a fixed place against which you compare. So same way, whenever you are drawing any line, as I said, if you're drawing a line segment, you have to find 2 points, right? And then you will join that to make a line segment. Those 2 points, any 2 points, any 3 point, any point that we deal with, you can relate that with what you're seeing on the screen right now. That your page or the screen is like this, okay, which is broken into 4 pieces by 2 perpendicular lines. if you're talking about this point, let's say there are 2 points, this point and this point, okay, to make the line segment. How will you find this point? You will say, okay, how far is from this line and how far it is from this line. Okay, then this is 1 point. Whatever is the distance, right? Let's say this is 1 and this is 1.2, or let's say this is 2. So here you will say this point is 1 comma 2. Okay, how? I will explain that later on. Okay, I don't want you guys to worry about it. I'm just saying all the two distance that it has with the lines, I'm putting that as here. Okay, so this is my first point. Okay, 1 comma 2. Now this is the second point. How far is this point? Let's say this is 3 and this is 4. Okay, so I'll say my second point is 3 and 4. That's all. So in simple terms, I mean, just to make it not look clumsy for you guys, the 2 points, let's say if I'm trying to draw a line, I need 2 points, let's say, to draw a line segment, right? So I'll say, what is the identity of this point? This point is, let's say, 1 comma 2, meaning 1 from this axis, 1 from this axis. Okay, sorry, 2 from this axis. Okay, and this one is 3 comma 4, meaning 3 from the horizontal axis, 4 from the vertical axis. I got 2 points. I can just join these and get the line segment. Tomorrow, if somebody wants to draw another line, okay, and says, okay, I want to draw a line segment which is much bigger. Okay, so this is the first point. See here, it is this much distance from this horizontal line and this much distance from vertical line, and this is the distance of the from the horizontal vertical line for this point, right? What I'm trying to say here is, this is what helps you locate a point on the page, on the screen. You guys will come across something called a graph paper. That will help you understand this little better. But for now, if you look at it in a simple way, if you recall what we have learned before, do you guys remember what was this called? You remember what was this called?
Line something.
Number line. Number line.
Number line. Yeah.
Number line.
Yeah,
Right.
number line.
A number line, what is the property of that number line? There is something in the center that is 0. If you travel in the right direction,
Benchmark.
Origin.
Origin, it's called origin. Okay, if you travel in the right direction, it is positive. If you travel in this direction, that is negative. So this is 0, this is the origin. If you go here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the numbers that you see. If you go here, -1, -2, -3, -4. Now if I try relating that with what I was showing you guys before, it is like 2 number lines perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this is the origin. Okay, meeting at origin, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So origin's location is 0, 0.
Origin is 0, 0. Yep. Okay, so here I'm just explaining you something. So this is, let's say, I call this x-axis and I call this as y-axis. Okay, this number line with the y-axis. Here, if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, here it will be -1, -2, -3, -4. So what you can see is, if you look at this side, okay, this is called first quadrant. Okay, where x and y both are positive. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Any point that you see, it will have 3 here, let's say 2 here, both positive. Now if you go from this place to this place, so this is called first quadrant. Okay, first quadrant of a graph.
I'm not drawing. Yes, someone joined.
Someone joined. Who is that someone? Shibam. This class is for US students. आपका क्लास खत्म हो गया शाम के 7 बजे. So you can drop off now and you can join tomorrow. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. चलिए. All right. No, I will change the link for the class from tomorrow. I cannot really afford to have distraction here. All right.
All right.
Okay. So coming back to this one, I was saying that there are two number lines perpendicular to each other. If in this direction this is positive, this direction this is negative. Here this direction is positive, this is negative. The horizontal line we call as x-axis. The vertical line we call as y-axis. Now, here you can see that the page is broken into 4 parts. This one where x and y both have positive value, this side is called first quadrant of the graph. This is called second quadrant. This is third quadrant. This is fourth quadrant. And trust me, all of you don't have to worry about this right now. This is probably something that is taught in 7th or 8th grade. It's way too early for you guys. But
Sorry, 6th grade actually.
I'm sorry?
It's my 5th grade teacher said we'll learn this in 6th grade.
6th or 7th grade. Yeah, correct. Again, they will teach a little, talk a lot. I'm trying to explain the concept here. Okay, so don't worry about that part. In simple terms, what I'm trying to say here is there are two number lines perpendicular to each other. That's what makes the graph. Okay. So tomorrow if somebody says, okay, have you dealt with graph? You say, yeah, I have dealt with graph. I know what is a graph. And it is nothing but two number lines perpendicular to each other. Okay. Cutting each other at the origin, where the value for both is 0. And we will use this graph for our conversation on let's say on the line segment or the drawing that we were trying to do, right? So let's say if I'm drawing a line segment here, this is my one point, this is my second point. Here, if I say how do I locate this point, how far this is from this one? This is -3. X is -3, and how far is this one? From the x is -3, meaning this far, and how much is y? Y is, let's say, 2.5. So this is, see here, y is here on positive side and x is negative here. Here x is positive. So x is positive here, x is negative here, y is positive here, this side, y is negative this side. So any point that you pick up, you will see, okay, if it is this side, the value of x will be negative, value of y will be positive. If you look at this, x is positive, y is positive, both will be positive. So first quadrant, this is the first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Okay, so you go in an anti-clockwise direction, not a clockwise direction. Okay, that is how you read the quadrant. And what you guys need to know at this point in time is only this part, that if I'm drawing any line, I need 2 points, and I need to locate those points against these lines, the two perpendicular number lines. Once you look at this point, you can just join them to make a line. Okay, that is what will become a linear equation for you guys in grade 8, not right now. But if you know the concept, if you understand that how do I draw a line, I need 2 points to draw a line segment. How do I locate a point? I locate it against the graph or a pair of perpendicular number lines. If you remember this much for now, if you are able to relate this much for now, you will not have any problem. Any questions so far? No question, Nishan. Abhik, Salini.
Why are you talking about 8th grade things when we're probably in 5th grade, 4th grade, and 3rd grade?
Doesn't matter. Concept is a concept. That's why I'm trying to keep it simple, right? So now tell me, forget about grade. Okay, be it 10. I mean, I did not study till eighth grade. Okay, I used to be, I used to fool around all the time. I'll not study till eighth grade. So whatever I studied in ninth grade is what I learned. So see, the knowledge or concept is not dependent on any grade. It is just a matter of how easily we understand things, right? Let's say if I talk about drawing a line segment, what is that has to do with the grade? Nothing. What it means is I have to draw a line segment, meaning I have to join 2 points to make this line segment, right? And like any other curious kid, you will see, okay, I need to draw a line segment, meaning I need to join 2 points. Okay, wonderful. I need to join 2 points. But what are those 2 points? Where are those points? How do I find those points? Right? And that is when the question will come. How do I locate? See, if somebody says, go from, okay, now we have a good relatable question. Somebody says, go from Gitesh's place to Abhik's place. Okay. Maybe tomorrow we have something to do. Say, okay, we will pick up something from Abhik's place and put it in Gitesh's place, or vice versa. Okay. First thing, oh, where's Gitesh place? Where does Gitesh live? Where does Abhik live? Right? We need to find that out. This is where Abhik lives. This is where Gitesh lives. And that is the address. So the address of Abhik's place or Gitesh's place is what you find through Google Map. Here you will find these points against the corners. How far is this from this corner? How from this corner? That tells you the point. Now, a smarter way of doing it is, math has given you the ability that, okay, you break your page into 4 pieces by making two, what do you call, number lines cross each other in a perpendicular way at the origin, and then find those points. You don't have to worry about the edges, right? Because this edge or this edge is difficult, right? I mean, now if you look at this point, you can say this far from this edge, but this is this far from the other edge. So that's why, to make it simpler, this concept of graph was brought in. That, okay, whatever surface, whatever page I have, let's break it into 4 equal parts and use these number lines, right, to locate the points. I don't have to worry about this edge or that edge. I will say this point, okay, this point, how far is from this axis, how far from this axis. That becomes 1 point. Or this point, how far it is from this axis and how far from this axis. Wonderful. Now I don't have to worry about the edge or anything which is non-standard in nature. I have a graph. I have a graph paper. My page is broken into 4 pieces, and I can locate the point against these vertical number lines. Any questions so far?
Yeah. How do I measure like let's say
Hmm.
in second, like I guess second
No.
and to first?
Oh, second to first. Okay. Okay. So, okay, second to first.
Or
So,
first and second,
whatever.
how do we measure that
So,
again once?
so first thing you have to do is you have to locate the points, right? Now let's make it more standard. Right now, whatever we have learned is only concept part of it. Okay. So now let me take out the unwanted lines. Now let's say the other 2 axes I have. This is called X. Okay. You can say X dash. So whatever is there on the, just say X. Fine. That's okay. Okay. Now this is 0.
Yeah.
Now you look at this point. How far it is from this axis and this axis. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you look at the graph paper, you'll see that these blocks being drawn. It will be very easy to locate. Okay. Here we are trying to do it on a plain paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So look at what I will do is I will see which one it aligns with horizontally and vertically. If you look at the graph paper, it will look like this. Okay. So when you see the point, you will be able to see how far it is from here and here. Okay. These are very thin lines drawn already. Okay. You don't have to measure or struggle to measure. Okay. Here we are just trying to do it in a plain paper. That's why we are trying to put that effort to find out which one is closer. Otherwise, in the graph paper, it's very visible. Okay. Okay. So if you look at this point is how far from this axis? 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it cuts here on the x-axis, right? On 3, let's say. So I will say 3, comma, it is 2.
Yeah.
Similarly, this point, okay, here, now look at this. This
This
is on
one is
the
4,
negative.
3.
No, wait here.
Sorry.
See, it is on the negative side. This is positive. This is negative. So this is -3. This is -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay. When you're going in this direction, we are going negative. When you're going this direction, you're going positive.
Yeah.
This point is -3, comma 2. 2 because y is positive in this direction. Y is negative in this direction. -1, -2, likewise. Okay. So here, this is -3, comma 2. That tells you that, okay, this is in the second quadrant because this value is negative.
Wait, it's -3, comma, -2, right?
No, it's 2 because if you look at the y-axis, this direction is positive, this direction is negative.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at this point, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the x-axis, positive, and 3 on the y-axis. So now you got 2 points. You can just join them and that will become your line.
Oh, so it's 3, -3, comma 2 far away from 4, comma 3, right?
I mean, I don't really care, right? I just know that, okay, these are the 2 points I have. How far it is, that we'll figure out. We don't have to worry about it, right?
So it's -3, comma 2
4, comma 3.
away. Like x is far away from like this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. So that's it. The x distance on x-axis, right? On this horizontal line, you can see 3 here, 1, 2, 3, plus 4 here, total 7, right?
So
I can.
this dot, or yeah, that dot is far away. Is 4, comma 3 far away from that dot, right?
That is kind. That's what we can see here, right? I mean, I can explain another thing also, but that will be way too loaded for you guys. Okay, I'm not trying to do that. There are things which comes with respect to the inclination of this thing, the uh, you know, uh, the x coordinate, y coordinate, and then the angle of the line also, right? I'm not going there. Okay, I'm not talking about the linear equation right now. That will be just too much for you guys. Okay. I'm just telling you that, okay, if only thing that I want you guys to take away from this class so far is that when you are looking at any geometrical shape, you're essentially talking about joining points. If you're talking about line segment, you're talking about joining 2 points. If you're talking about a triangle, you're talking about joining 3 points together, right? If you're talking about a quadrilateral, you're talking about joining 4 points, 3 and 4. Now, where will you find those points? How will you locate those points is what we are trying to learn by looking at the graph. Okay. How will you find these points that you will join to make these shapes? Yeah. And how the graph thing comes into picture, how the number line that we have learned.
Someone joined. Somebody joined.
Who is that somebody? अंकित अंकित ये क्लास जो है ये यूएस के बच्चों के लिए है. आप लोगों का क्लास खत्म हो गया था शाम के 7 बजे. So request you to drop. Okay. No, so extremely sorry for the disturbance. Today, actually, I got a lot of new students joining my English speaking and math classes from India. And I'm using the same link for both the classes. So far, there was no disturbance, but starting today, I'm seeing a lot more people getting confused about it. So I'll make the link different. Okay. So just watch out for the link for our class here. I'll at least make sure that for your students, I have one link. For the India students, I have another link. So nobody gets confused. All right. So coming back to this one, what we have learned is any geometrical shape that you talk about comprises of points except the circle. Circle is as a bigger thing. There are so many points. We'll not talk about that. But if you talk about line segment, if you talk about triangle, if you talk about quadrilateral, if you talk about any kind of polygon, you actually talk about joining certain points. And now the point is we are trying to find how do I locate a point. How do I find out where those points are in a more standard, more structured, more meaningful way so that I'm not. See, so far I was doing okay. Oh, let's draw a triangle. Okay, done. But this is not right. I have to know what are these points. Is it okay to draw the triangle here in this place, or am I supposed to draw the triangle in this corner? Am I supposed to have a triangle like of this shape? All that comes to the point. The point. Unless we are able to find out how do I locate these points on the page, on the screen, on the surface, this is pointless. So this is why. Even if you're drawing a triangle like this, you have something like this graph in the background, which tells you about these points and how do you relate with them to make it more what you call it standard. And at this age in your classes it's okay, but as you guys keep moving up, go to higher classes, you will see that these become more standard, more structured. And when you go towards the engineering side of it, you will see that it becomes a very important part of the engineering drawing also. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys will do engineering or you'll do something else, but I'm saying for somebody like me who comes from engineering background, we saw that random drawings, when they were kind of transposed onto the drawing sheets, there was a lot of audit and scrutiny about these points. So conceptually, every point can be located against these two perpendicular number lines, and that's what helps you locate them, draw them, and then do more meaningful calculation with them as we learn more about it. So this is where I want to stop and see if you guys have any question. I know I've been talking non-stop, but I want to know how much Salni has understood, how much Ayush has understood, how much Ishan has followed, what is comfort for Gitesh.
So, like,
What
we're just like saying like about the points, like we just talking about line segments and stuff.
right. So basically now if you look at geometry, right? Whatever you try drawing,
Somebody joined.
who is that somebody?
Amit.
अमित, आप ड्रॉप कर जाइए क्लास से, क्योंकि ये क्लास जो है यहाँ के बच्चों के लिए है, यूएस के बच्चों के लिए, है ना? आपका क्लास खत्म हो गया 7 बजे हिसाब में, आप थोड़ा लेट हो गए. Okay, so coming back to this one, any shape in geometry that we talk about, it comprises of the corners or the vertex that we call, right? And those are essentially points that you have to join to. आपको मैं अभी आप दूसरे क्लास में ज्वाइन कीजिएगा, या आप दूसरे मतलब ये गलत क्लास में आ गए हैं अभी, है ना? Okay. So when you connect those vertex or the corners, the edges, that is what draws the shape for us, right? And it is very important for us. How do we locate those corners of the edges against against the graph? That's what we have learned. And graph is nothing but two perpendicular number lines crossing each other at the origin. Yeah. Shalini, tell me, were you able to follow what we discussed? Was it sounding difficult? Was it okay?
It was okay.
Okay. Ishan, you might want to go on mute. Yeah, I can hear some background noise. Okay, let's go to Abhik.
Background.
Okay, so Abhik, were you able to follow what we discussed so far? Was it difficult? Was it okay? How was it?
It was kind of hard to know what you were saying because you kept on repeatedly said it was.
What did I say repeatedly?
He said you didn't repeat anything. I'm just saying that you were just too
Just too?
quick.
I was just too quick.
Yes.
We only have an hour in this class.
Okay. No, so that's fine. So I was quick. That is okay.
No, it was pretty normal to me. I understood.
Okay. No, I mean, see, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody in the class is able to follow me.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So coming back to Abhik, so when I was quick, keep aside the quick or slow part. Tell me, were you able to follow what I said or not? Because that is more important.
Yeah, listen to Cellophane.
Okay, so you were able to follow it. If there was something that you could not, I would still suggest after the class when I upload the video, go through the video once, and that will at least make sure to come to a conclusion that okay, whether whatever we discussed, you are able to relate to that or not. If there's something that you're not able to, we'll discuss that in the next class, or you can ping me. I can explain you separately also. Okay. All right. Let me go to Ayush. So Ayush, how was it? Did it go very fast? Were you able to follow, not follow? Complex, easy? How was it?
I understood,
You understood?
but a little bit in the middle, I kind of got a little bit lost, but then I re-understood.
Okay. So see, very simple. Okay, in today's class, right? I mean, if you look at this concept that we learned today, this is for grade 5. And some of the things that we even tried learning, that was for higher grades. But I did not go much deeper into it. I just kept it something closer to what will be relevant to you guys, what you guys will be able to relate. Now, from a concept level, I did not teach you guys anything complicated. I just kind of touched upon the number line, and I dealt with two number lines being perpendicular to each other. And then I was kind of waking up the kids among you guys. Okay, meaning somebody says, okay, draw a line segment. You'll say, oh, how? No, join two points. Okay, I join 2 points. But how do I know what are those points? Where are those points? And when you try getting answer for those things, that is when people will say, okay, but where are those points? Okay, those points you can locate using a graph, which tells you where it falls. Right?
Right.
And when you try relating those things, right? See, asking question is very important. But it is more important to ask the right question. What I've seen is many times kids ask a lot of questions, they get confused, they get me also confused. But when you ask the right questions, it will guide you in the right direction to get the answer that will enhance your learning or knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
Don't refrain from asking questions. Make sure that you are asking questions, but before you do so, always think, is this a question that will help me learn something, or is this something that is just a question?
Yeah.
And if you get the answer that yes, it will help you learn something, don't worry, don't be afraid, don't be scared of asking that question. It's okay to ask questions. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'm not going to teach you guys anything further on this one. This is a loaded concept. I would want you guys to spend some time after the class, once I upload the video, to watch it once and then see if you're able to relate. In the house, the homework that I'm giving you now, not a official homework, is look in your house. Okay, look at all the corners and think, how do I, okay, if I have to draw a line between the two corners, how do I find those corners? Yeah. How do I locate the corners? Okay, that corner is 2 meters away from that corner and 3 meters from my basement. Okay, fine. So start relating those things. Okay, because math or anything that I teach, I always request the kids to relate. Line segment is
Okay.
something that we live with, right? Every day. Think about that. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So I'm saying, whatever you learn here, look at the practical relevance of that, in your day-to-day life. If you find, okay, line segment, okay, rectangle, where do I see rectangle? Oh, my wall is a rectangle. My roof is a rectangle, right? Relate, and then try today, like we learn how to find out the location of points. Always look at all the different corners and see how do you locate those points in your house. I'm sure that will make a lot of sense. Okay, and
Yeah.
we'll meet tomorrow again, same time. I will publish a different meeting link so that way there's less of disturbance. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine.
So you can in the Google Meet you can sometimes only like you can put a mode like only accept